So we're now moving into the cooler months of the year where the water temperatures are beginning to drop. And I changed from my fish meal based boilies to a milky protein type boilie. And I did say at the start of last winter's campaign I was going to be using the Probate UK TT, which is a nice creamy nutty type of boilie. But due to government diktat, that kind of winter campaign disappeared into nothing as we were all kind of locked down and restricted in movements. So I'm going to try again this year. Now the base of the mix, as I say, is going to be this particular boilie, and it's exactly the same process that I normally do and I've shown to you before, only in this case the liquids change. So I start off by grinding up a few kilos in the Ridge Monkey crusher, and then I leave that to dry. A couple of weeks is good. It lets all the moisture come out of the boilie before I start adding the liquids. Now because we're going into the cooler months, I change the liquids that are going in there away from the oily fish ones and start using creamy based ones or nutty or fruity ones. Anything you really fancy. I mean, I haven't tried, but it's probably highly recommended, is the Adam Pennin condensed milk and Bailey's approach. I haven't tried it, as I say, but could be well worth a go. I've just got to keep your mind open about it. What I do tend to use is liver powders or liver extracts that have been highly recommended by better anglers than me, so I'm always prepared to give that a go as well. So it's entirely up to you what you actually add into it, but the key to the process is to add it slowly, put a little bit in at a time, mix it up, let it dry off for a bit, add a little bit more, and as long as you can do that for, I think you'd be really surprised just how much liquid you can get into the mix. Once I'm happy that I've got the mix right, which is crumbly and it'll squeeze together gently in your hand, but it'll soon break up again. Once I get to that stage, then I tend to bag up the majority of it and put it into an extra cold fridge. Now, I think the liquids in it help preserve the bait anyway, but I don't want to freeze it because I'm using it pretty regularly. Also, I start to make up sticks and bags. Now, I tend to do two types. One's got a PVA dissolving foam in, which I use for my pop-ups, and one is just a normal base stick that I use for wafter rigs. But all of them at this time of year have got extra PVA tails on them, which means I can tie these to the swivel of the hinge stiff rig and put the hook very gently into the side of the bag. So when I'm casting, the weight of the bag, such that it doesn't attempt to take any curve that I might have put into the hinge stiff rig. That's what I'm going to be using as the base of the mix from now on, and it's certainly going to be the one I'm going to be taking to Bramblemere with me in a couple of weeks' time. I will be taking some hemp with me, and I should certainly be taking some maggots, and the mix will depend on how I end up in a swim. I could be fishing 3 rods on one area, I could be fishing 3 different areas, and I could change the approach when I actually get there and make some decisions. But that's the basis now for my winter or cold water mix.